Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy. Welcome to my channel, and I've got a fun one for you today. This is the original. It's kind of all, kind of pushed a little bit to the left. It's got the vertical line created by the drips of color. There's some mixed media. It kind of looks like white on white. There's some texture going on here. I can't tell exactly whether it's textile or stamping or whatever. You can see some bits of doily around underneath the dark leaves. We've got fall colored leaves, some brooch-like things, and then we've got some white leaves. We've got a circular frame around the photo. This may actually be a square or rectangular photo with just the twine twirled around it. I actually cut my photo into a circle. There are some stamped, looks like some stamped butterflies around. I'm going to use a photo of my granddaughter, Ava, showing off her new room after we had painted it with a beach scene all around it. I have wrapped some twine. It's this paper twine that I got from, it's Ms. Sparkle and Company, and it came from Joann's. Bought it in 2019 because I like the colors. But I cut my photo in a circle, and then I did a bead of glue and wrapped first some pink and then some green and then some blue around it, kind of picking up on the colors in the photo. So I'm going to go with that green, blue, and pink theme. I have die cut some leaves out of white paper and also some out of a Maggie Holmes paper that has a lot of the like green, pink, and blue and yellow colors in it. I'll kind of show you the paper. You'll probably recognize it. It's vellum, and I hated using it. This was my last piece of it. And I love that pattern. That was the very first Maggie Holmes collection that I was ever aware of. Might have been her first. I have some brooch-like items here that were in my Secret Sister gift from the fabulous JoJo Kelly. So thank you, JoJo. The colors are perfect on these. And so I'm going to use these colored die cuts instead of the fall colored maple leaves, and I'll use these white kind of on top of that. I've got some metal beachy emblems here, also from JoJo, some sequins in a couple different color ranges. I've got some glittery little guys right here. May or may not use those flamingos. They go different ways. I'll kind of have to figure that out. I've got some flip-flops here and some green, blue, and pink flares that I may throw in along with some of this other stuff. And I have ink sprays and ink pads and 3 little stamps. And the mixed media, the big mixed media that I'm going to do is going to be white texture paste through this fish stencil kind of in the area just around where the photo will be. But I have to do things in order here, and it took me a while to kind of figure out what that order should be. Oops, and I've gotten some ink over on my paper, and I can't just turn the sheet over because I'm going to have to do something there. I can't just turn the sheet over because I have gessoed this part of it so that my drips will drip. So I'm going to take these 3 colors and I'm going to sit down to do this. I'm going to create the drips, and if they look like the ones on the original, yay. If they don't, we're just going to use them as they are. So this is the top area. So I'll start with the blue, and I'm going to do this. And already I've got things not, well, I'm going to blow with this straw, and it's not go, oops, I got a piece over there. So, you know, as you can see, we're not sure at all what we're doing. And this one is much drippier than the others. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, I'm gonna let that, try to maybe have some extending up this way. There we go. Okay. So now we'll put the lid on the blue. I'm going to go with pink. And this is about the same. I was going to say it's the same consistency as the blue. It's the same brand of ink, kind of came in the same set, but it isn't as drippy. And I'm sure we're going to get a totally different effect, as you can see. I'm going to do, this is kind of where the photo's going to go. I'm going to try, oh my goodness, there's a lot there. Okay, let's do this. I actually like where the pink blended with the blue and made purple. I'm going to try to capitalize on that. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do another bit right in here. I don't want to do a blob as big as that one, but I do want something that I can blow like that. Okay, this is interesting. Not at all what I had pictured, and not at all what I was going for based on the original. But you know, we're going to go with it, right? This color is, this is called Gable Green, and it seems to have a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit right here, kind of separated from this part. Let's see if I can blow that and get any. Okay. Whoops. There, I'm going to get mud there. So actually what I'm going to do here is start blowing the other direction. And I've blown some of my embellishments away. Okay, that's going to have to stay. And I'm gonna blot it. Oops. Let me make sure that's still on camera. It is. Okay, and it looks temporarily as though the pattern from the paper towel has transferred into the ink, and I'm okay if it stays that way, but I don't think it will. So I'm gonna take this and kind of blot fairly neatly there. Okay, I'm gonna toss that. Now, while that's still wet, I'm going to risk it, and I'm going to scrape some white texture paste through here. Excuse me while I run across the room and get my white texture paste where I left it. I've done some reorganizing and I put away some things that I use frequently, and I kind of forgot that I moved them from the frequent use, grab it while I'm filming kind of area. So this is going to kind of just get scraped thinly across some of the colored areas and some of the white areas, and it's not going to pick up everywhere. It's going to be just spread, like I said, thinly, so all the fish aren't going to be filled. It's going to be kind of abstract fish. And now I'm going to pick it up, and there we go. So that's kind of my base there. And I'm going to kind of let that dry and hope that doesn't take a really long time, because I can't do as much cluster building, photo cluster building, with this round photo as I usually do when I have some cardstock at the back. And so I'm just gonna do some of the work, like put that on there. And I'm gonna put some tape on here kind of preemptively to hold some of the these guys. I'm just gonna kind of stick that back there and leave things hanging. I want to use another one of those florals, maybe down, maybe over this way. And then kind of have some coming out. I'll have this one and I'm really just kind of placing them and kind of sticking them back here. I'm going to put another layer of foam underneath that so that these are lifted up. Okay, and I'm going to do this. And I've just used a variety of dyes here, nothing that you haven't seen me use before. Didn't fully weed this, and I will tell you that I die cut on a type of photo paper that doesn't print well on my printer. It's some photo paper I bought when I bought from Archivers when Archivers went out of business. I'm going to put this one right here. And it just doesn't work on my printer. I've tried every setting I can think of and can't get it for photos, but I use it for, it's a really nice white paper that has a coating, and it's, let's see if I can get, need to put some glue on here. It's, let's see if that will work. It does. It makes nice die cuts. They look nice, but they're hard to weed out of the cutter, the dies. Ah, darn it. I thought I had that there. I'll put that there. And I'm trying to kind of arch these things. So that I get a nice shape, and I'm just working with whatever I pull up as I pull it up. So there's no planning that's going into this, and I may live to regret that. Okay, I'm having a little bit of an issue with the glue sticking. So I'm going to do it blind from the back. Okay, and I've got a couple more of these. I want to do all of these colored bits first, but I may actually have to put some of the smaller ones on later, and I may stick them to the background. So now let me do another piece of foam, and I'm going to just lace this with some glue and kind of go over that. And I'm going to do this and kind of let it get tacky before I try to put it on the background. You know, I think the neon pink may be a bit more vivid than I imagined. Okay, so let's see. how this works. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to press it down like that. And if these flowers kind of stick to the texture paste, I'm kind of okay with that. So I'm going to do these guys. These are some of the bigger elements that are going into the composition. There'll be one right there. I'm going to put another up here, maybe this smaller one. And I'll maybe put it under there so that it lifts that flower. Let me see if I can lift this. I can lift part of it. That's okay. And then I'm going to put another one right in here. Or maybe I want to put it right under here. Okay, now I'll arrange some of these other things around there. I think I would have preferred just the 3 narrow lines coming down, and for the colors not to be quite so bright, and maybe if these were cardstock instead of vellum, the colors and patterns might show up better. So now let's do these white ones. And some are going to be under and some are going to be over. I had plans for them all to be over, but I'm actually going to put one under right there, kind of because of the shape of it, and kind of because I want these colors to show up nicely there. So I may do some more of that, especially with these flatter, more tropical type leaves. Especially right in here, I'm losing the effect of these pretty vellum pieces. So I'm going to stick that right there, and it kind of gives them some dimension, plus the color shows through nicely. I'm going to take this one and put it kind of right in okay. That's already somehow glued itself down. I mean, what I'm trying to do is get it in between where it was glued onto the back and the background. Okay, so we're just gonna go around, and all the while the white texture paste is drying, and it will be a little bit more it'll show the texture a little bit more after it does finish drying. So this I'm going to put over here, Just kind of let it, okay, I want it to circle this way. Okay, and it has stuck down. I'm gonna leave it down because if I pull it up, it's just not really gonna work. Now I'm gonna take this, which is a smaller piece and a different shape, and it's going at a different angle. I'm gonna kind of put it right on top and let it kind of contrast against that background underneath. Okay, here's another one. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this, but let's do maybe something right there that sort of covers up that pink. I'm really all about covering up that pink. It's actually not all that different from some of the pinks that are in the photo. And in real life, it's very similar to what was in the room. But let's see, where do I want this to go? I think I may do it. Let it come up over the photo. And I have one more. Well, no, I have two more white pieces. I'm gonna let that kind of arch around this brooch, and I'm using the term brooch, realizing that I haven't heard that in polite conversation in 40 years, so nobody may know what a brooch is these days. Looks like a piece of jewelry my grandmother might have worn with her cashmere coat. Going to Sunday Mass. Okay, so now I've got a couple more the vellum pieces. This one hasn't been weeded properly, so let me do, in some cases I'm layering things on top of other things on top of other things, and that's kind of what I intended for this to look like, so it is looking like that. I'm just going to kind of stick that flower there, and I've got another piece right here. It's got a long stem, so maybe it can go right there. Then I've got this one. Oops. It's time for tweezers. That got a little bit of glue there, but it'll dry and look like texture paste. So that's not gonna bother me. I'm just gonna do that right there. Okay, now I'm gonna find a couple spots for these little metal pieces, and then we'll do some of the small things. Maybe I'll do this right here on top of the photo, and I might do this one up here, just off the photo. Now I pulled, those were brads, and I pulled the backs off of them. This one may not stick. I may have to go back with some foam tape under that, but if I pile on enough glue, there's a chance it might stick. Now, do I want this in here anywhere? That is actually kind of cute. So let me, speaking of foam, I'll get a bit of foam and put it behind. And these guys are the same on both sides, so you can face them either way. But they do need to be weeded right in there. Okay. That's glitter, and even the glue, the foam tape isn't sticking to the glitter. So I'm going to put it right there and hope that a combination of the glue tape and that texture paste that it's touching works. Okay, so here's one that could go maybe right under here. And I think I'll just glue this one down to the background just to make it a little easier. Okay. To lift these guys up, and I'm getting glitter all over, but we'll just call that mixed media, right? Okay. There. And I think I'll skip these. I have another idea for that, but I do have one of these vellum bits. It can maybe go here and give us some of that color right there. I like that. I'm going to push it in a little bit farther because I don't want it sticking out that much. Okay. Now, do I have room for these flares? Maybe a pink one right there. And I've got these little stamps out to kind of do in some of the areas. I'm not going to do that much stamping, and I have a few sequins and we're almost done. So I'm hoping, I've got these guidelines that are kind of trying to keep me on camera. I'll do that right there. The green one, I want to get the blue one over kind of close to her dress, although it's got clouds on it, so it might be better up in the area of the sky, but you know, why should it make that much sense? Let's see. How about under here? And anytime you use them when you have tendrils like that, they do a great job of picking them up and giving them dimension. And that's reason enough right there for me to add to every page. I love using flare, period, and I used to cut the backings off of larger brads and I use them as flare. So I've been using flare for years, but didn't know where to buy anymore, and all my big brads were kind of outdated. Let's do this. Okay, and that lifted these guys up nicely. It's almost like I wish I had another piece of flare to put right in there. And you know, I think I do. And I don't have a big one. Ooh, but I have this one that's dark blue that has the pink and the green. Oh yes. And what that is a flare I had picked for a different project and didn't use. And when I started this page and selected the colors, I kind of looked for it, but I had no idea where I had put it. I really thought it was in a crazy bowl somewhere. And at the moment, I have way too many crazy bowls lying around. Okay, so let's see what this goes under and what goes under it. Okay, that's good. You can still see the blue, and as things kind of move around, you can also see the other colors. So it's kind of shaped up to be kind of nice. I'm going to do some, this is a stamp that makes little circly dots, and I'm going to do some of that in the blue, just kind of arching them around. And I'm going to go back with another stamp. This one has little 3-line kind of squares, and I'm going to do this with pink very lightly so you can barely see the design. And then I'm gonna now go back with my stamps. I have a little crab, and I'm gonna kind of do, these are gonna stand in for these stamped butterflies, kind of arching around. Okay, so I have pink crabs. I'm going to do green sand dollars. And then I've got blue starfish. I love these blue starfish. And I'm going to use a few more of them. Let's see, maybe one right there. Okay. That kind of looks a little bit silly, but I'm not going to worry about that. And this one's going to go title-less at the moment because I haven't typed up what I want to be the title. And the title will be Ava in her room with the new decor. And it's kind of a take on the load prompt for today, which is based on the game Clue, where the perpetrator is, you know, Colonel Mustard in the library with the vial of poison or whatever it is. So this is Ava in her room with the new decor. So I'm going to just glue a few sequins on, and I'm picking from this mix that I got from JoJo. And there are metallics and clears and water bubble, like that, and seashells. They're just so cute. I ordered some seashell sequins one time, and I was so excited. I got them in 2 different color mixes, kind of brights and pastels. And I got them, and they're huge, you know, just huge. I can't even imagine how I can use them. I'm going to show them to you. They're gorgeous, but they're huge. And you can kind of compare the size of that to the size of that. And there should be a way that I can maybe overlap them to do like fish scales, kind of a look like that, or, you know, something along, but it takes, just thinking about that idea makes me tired. So it just seems like something that would take forever. You know, not that my usual layouts don't take forever, but if you think it's one of those things that if you think this video is long, when you see that video, I would have to do several hours of work before the video started in order to do anything like I do now. Let's see. A tiny little metallic sequin here that I think is just going to look so cute. There's so many different sequins in this mix that JoJo did, and I love that. I didn't even know the term. I was making sequin mixes before I knew there was a term for it, and how I made them. You know, this is very scientific and well planned, of course. How I made them was I had a single bin that I swept everything into when I cleared the table or swept them up from the floor. So I'm about done, I think. I'm not unhappy with this. Let's see, was it that I say that you guys laugh at me for is I don't hate it. It certainly isn't anything like what I envisioned, and I'm not happy with this. I may get a white gesso and just water it down and put it on my fingers and maybe wipe over that. And if it leaves much of a texture, I'll maybe wipe some around in other places, but I won't make you watch me do that because it just really might not work. So I'm happy, except I'm going to do a few splatters, and of course this blue is splattering differently from my usual ink splatters, but I'm going to do all 3 colors. The green are the ones I like the best. Okay, So I'm done, and my hands are green and pink, so I think it's been a successful project. Let me bring this up to show it to you in detail. There we go. I like it. It's a cute page. I'm actually I've just recently rediscovered pictures of us putting that room together. John and me actually doing the painting, and so I kind of want to do a spread about that. I think I did some Project Life. I printed the photos and did a Project Life spread about them. But I think I'd rather do some pages. So you might be seeing some other bits. This is kind of at the end of it, she was showing things off. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next Friday for Mixed Media Frenzy. Bye. Be sure and check out the Facebook group. And there are albums there with all of the inspiration pieces that the team has been using and the hops. And you're welcome to give it a try. I pretty much have taught myself mixed media by trying to reproduce some of those pages. So I would highly recommend it. It's been just one of my favorite things. I look forward to Fridays to do all this fun, messy stuff. So, bye.